Hello and good evening, the whole way from Austria. Hope everybody's doing okay today. So, this lesson is lesson 11. And it's really funny how, as I went through the lessons, I was thinking, gosh, these lessons, they're not really that deep. But as we all know, if these are the lessons that we're not paying attention to, or that we think is a load of rubbish, or it's not enough material in it, it actually turns out to be the deepest lesson you can learn. So just pay attention to it. I was speaking to somebody the other day about, just that thing of listening to something over and over again, and how your level of awareness just rises, and then you go off and it brings you into other material that comes back and confirms everything that you've read. And then you're going, oh, that's what he was talking about. And then as you rise and rise and rise, to just keep listening to this stuff. I don't know how many times I can actually say that. I think I'm saying that for myself as well, for me to remember, just because I've done it like 4 times. And I just keep, what I do is I tend to pick lessons. So now I'm working on the self-image lesson, and I'm going to do that I think I'm going to do that for a month. It's just, this is a never ending thing. And as we change, we may just want to come back and revisit different lessons at different times. What a wonderful, wonderful product we've got here. I mean, it just absolutely blows my mind every single time. And speaking to somebody else about, they're looking at somebody else's course, and you just go, that's absolutely great. But look at the lineage as to where this program has come from. We've got Andrew Carnegie, Earl Nightingale, Wolfgang Gold, that's so funny. It's only because he actually walked. Thank goodness, this is just my learning group. And here's the idea: we're not supposed to be perfect. I've actually got something on that. It's not Wolfgang Gold at all. It's Bob Proctor. So look at the different, the lineages that's come from, and the power that's actually there behind his words. And what Bob says is that if you just literally follow what I say until you earn more money than me, and then go and follow somebody else. Yeah. So never mind listening to Wolfgang. He's not supposed to be here. This is a professional video, and I just love it anyway. What the heck? Actually, on that perfectness, and I'm going to start this from, isn't it funny how this was on my mind? And one of the things that I tried to be was too perfect. I've been told by my national vice president in Arbonne that I know too much and that I'm being too perfect. And then you've got my mentor with Bob Proctor as well, is actually said, Sheena, your trouble is you know too much. And that can be the problem, is because it's harder to let go, because we're trying to control everything with all our knowledge. And here's the thing, it is actually just about letting go and not being too perfect. And here's the thing, when we think that we're not normal, or there's something up with us or whatever, and we try to hide it. Let me just read you something from one of Katie Byron's book. So how do you react when you believe that what isn't normal for you? So say, I don't know, your legs, your arms, your hair, whatever, how do you believe that isn't normal for you? You feel shame, sadness, and despair. Who would you be without that thought? At ease with your condition and loving it, whatever it is. What she's talking about here is somebody had rheumatoid arthritis in her fingers and just hated her fingers from the age of 17, and has spent the whole life hating her fingers. It sounds stupid, but we've all probably got a part of our body that we've hated and we've not said nice things to for a long time, for a whole lifetime. But here's the thing, whatever it is, because you would realize that it's completely normal for you. Even if 99% of other people look a different way, their normal isn't your normal. This is your normal. That poor woman's argument with reality was causing her suffering, not her fingers. It was how she was perceiving it. Now, here's a little story, and it sounds really funny. I've hated my legs like most of my life. It was so funny. And then, I think it was last week or whatever, I actually just really appreciated them. I thought, oh my goodness, these have taken me up three marathons. I ran up and down Conway Mountain for 15 years, and I put high heel shoes on, and my legs have carried me for 50 years, and I just had an absolute appreciation for my legs. And that night when I was out, a man just walked past me and he said, your legs are just gorgeous. Now, I think that's the first time I've ever had a compliment on my legs. And I just thought, wow, it wasn't because my legs changed. It was because my attitude about me changed and how I was wearing my clothes. So just thought I'd pass that out. If you've got something that you don't like about yourself, it's not that thing. It's just you causing that trouble. And this is leading on to this exercise, actually, lesson 11. So give me a chance. Give us permission through you to have a flaw, because flaws are the norm. When you hide your flaws, you teach us to do that. I love to say that we're just waiting for one teacher, just one, to give permission to be who we are now, so that we can all come to know that that's what is normal for us. You appear as this now. That is such a gift to give. The pain is in withholding it. Who else is going to give us permission to be free if not you? Do it for your own sake and we will follow. We're a reflection of your thinking, and when you free yourself, we all get free. Now, wow, it really led into, tonight's lesson. And that lesson is, leaving everyone with the impression of increase. How many times have we heard people say, oh, I've got this, I've got that, I've got the other. And I'm not saying this to impress you. I'm saying this to impress upon you. So it's about impressing something and pushing it in. And I think that that's one of the things that, if you can leave everyone feeling better, even just because you feel better and you walk into the room and you light up a room without saying anything, you can do that. You can totally do that. And why wouldn't you do that? One of the article that you've got with this exercise is the spirit of opulence. And this was one of the exercises that I had as a coach. It's one of the first things that Bob says, watch this for 30 days. And Sheena didn't do it because, of course, I listened to it a few times and then thought, yeah, I've got this. This is really, especially in the last month, come really true, where to really understand who you are. Now, you've been told that the whole way through these course, whenever I first met you, everything that you don't know who you are. And once you know who you are, then you will know that all the stuff that you've been doing before, and you'll know how to act and you'll know how to do everything, because we are spirit. And what is spirit? Spirit is life. Spirit is the energy holding the universe together. Spirit is nature. Spirit is everything you see around you, because everything is energy. And it is absolutely abundant. There is nothing. I mean, who are we to think that we can destroy or keep the earth together? It's been hanging there for I don't know how long, and we're just it's looking after itself. It is looking after itself. There is no good or bad. It just is. And sometimes it has to wipe out humanity to start again. There's more to this than we've ever seen before. We're not just here and that's it, that we have been here before. There's so much evidence about that. But it's got to remember that we must look upon ourselves not as misers' chests to be kept locked down for our own benefit, but as centers of distribution. And the better we fulfill our function as such centers, the greater the corresponding inflow. So, this, you absolutely know this, that you have got all this power coming into you. What are you doing with it? What are you doing? Are you crunching it up and then sending that version out? Now we've got programs. I just look at people now and I just see people as walking programs. And because I know that we are bundles of energy and we have life inside these bodies, and we are not our bodies, we are not our thoughts, we are not our feelings. And this may go over your head. That's fine, because there'll be one time you'll come along, you'll listen to this lesson and you'll go, I know what she's talking about now. because I've been exactly the same. So you've got all this beautiful raw energy coming into you, and then you screw it up and send it out. Okay, it's flowing through you, it's flowing to you and through you. So stop screwing it up and sending it out, because that's what you're sending out. So if you're worried about something, or think bad thoughts about yourself, or even just walking around and making judgments on people, going, they're too fat, they're too thin, they're too black, they're too white, whatever it is, that's what you pass out. And here's the thing, it's not them, it's you. It's all you. This whole world is a mirror for you. If you look at somebody and you don't like them, turn it to yourself. If you look at them and you criticize anybody, then turn it to yourself. That's a big thing to see, because so many people don't want to do that. But I promise you, when you do it, so when you say something and you think, well, is it true? And then ask yourself, well, do I have any facts for that? Are they really like that? Or is that just my perception? Has everybody said that? What makes it true? How do I feel with that thought? How do I feel with it? Well, I feel a bit crap, really. Okay, well, how are you going to feel without the thought? Oh, wow, it feels so much lighter. Well, then, get rid of the thought. Okay, it's not true. It's not true about the other person. It's you attacking yourself and judging yourself. So if that's the biggest lesson, I couldn't see any of this. And what I was doing was maybe even looking for approval from other people as well, as just like, if I, I best watch their reaction. But it wasn't their approval I was looking for. It was my approval. I needed to approve of me. And that's all that we need, because if I can approve of me, then I'll help other people approve of themselves. And you see, that's the big lesson from leaving everybody with the impression of increase, is because when you walk around and you look for the good in people, then you find the good in yourself. When you walk around criticizing people, it's because you're criticizing yourself. Today on the tube, I was literally looking at a girl and I thought, oh my God, she's so pretty. She's got beautiful eyes. And then I went, because I've been used to doing this work, I went, oh, well, that means I'm pretty with beautiful eyes. And nobody else heard that conversation. Who cares? But all it did was I felt good, and I rose a little bit higher and just had a little giggle to myself. So watch for this, really, really watch for this. This lesson, even though you're leaving everybody else with an increase, it's actually to impress upon yourself. Because like I say, you find the good on outside, you'll find the good in the inside. Now we're literally living on 3 different, planes here. And just to really get this through, if you think, if you've got water, and then if you heat it up, you get some steam. And then if you heat it up again, it goes into the ether. Okay? This is really what we are. If we turn that on its head, we are spirit. Yeah, we can't see it. We know it exists. We know this isn't space here. There's things going on here. Then we get our intellectual, which is where we get the ideas. And then it culminates in the physical, in the actual result. And so everything that we've got up here is eventually going to work its way out. So what is it you're saying up here where you think that nobody can hear? These thoughts and stuff are actually being passed to you. Who says they're your ideas? You're thinking anyway. You didn't, who breathed you last night? Was it you? Did you breathe you last night? Who kept you alive? So who were your thoughts? Like, you can't just wake up one morning and think, well, I'm not going to think today. That's it. No thinking today. You can't help but think. But it's really that idea as to what it is that you choose to think. Okay? And that's where, actually I've got a diagram here, is that your job is just to choose to feel good. Thoughts come in, you go, does that feel good? And if it doesn't, we'll stop it. Do the inquiry. You can do that inquiry. Is it true? How do I feel with that thought? But how do I feel without the thought? All of a sudden you feel so much better. So find the new thought. Again, all these lessons will work their way into each other. So this is like lesson 2 and 3, where, you're literally going, well, I don't like that thought. What's the corresponding opposite in your paradigm work? And because if you're struggling with it, you need to write it out over and over and over again. But it's your choice. You've got this energy coming in, and you choose which way you go. Believe me that any negative thought will come through your body, and it will be done onto you. Okay? You are actually not doing anything. This may go over your head, and I love this stuff, but you're actually not doing anything. You think you're the decision maker. But when you pull everything back to, yeah, I'm just going to leave that one with you. So what I want you to do is just literally know that your job is to feel good. Your job is to know that your vision has been given to you. You didn't just make it up. It's been given to you. It is so special. And what do we do? A lot of our ideas are actually stillborn, aren't they? So we just literally, I couldn't do that. There's no way I could do that. Who do I think I am to do that? Or that's too much effort. Or later. And all you do actually is cut yourself off again. You've just dissed something special. Yeah, and it'll go and land on somebody else, and somebody else will do it then. You were given it. But here's the thing, is that it is done onto you. Remember, 2% thinking, 98% is actually what is governing your life. And that's what it is, that we need to make sure that what is passing through, what we are emotionally involved in, is good stuff. Because that's the stuff that we're literally passing to the outside world. And that's what getting our results. So when we look at somebody and we think, gosh, you look miserable, well, look at your own face. Straight away, just if you haven't got a mirror, then just, well, you know what your face looks like when it's miserable, yeah? So if you're looking at somebody and criticizing them, literally mirror straight away and go, what? That's me criticizing me, and I'm giving that out to the world. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? So this is about leaving everybody with the impression of increase. But remember, this is actually about you. And, it says at the top of this slide, it's happening anyway. That is, the law of attraction is happening anyway. Yeah? So it is law. You think something negative, it will cause a vibration, and it will happen. This law is totally impersonal. It doesn't care. So it will produce a negative result, or it will produce a positive result. It is up to you to funnel that through. It doesn't care. And I remember Abraham Hicks actually saying that the less you care, the more we care. We as in universal energy. God. Yeah? The less you care. If you care too much, you're actually holding yourself back. Because think of it, if you're at point 0 where everything is just love and everything's just happening anyway and everything is impersonal because it's just all love and it's law and it's just happening, then you start to care about something too much. Where does your energy go? Down. Causes you to constrict. Oh, I need to do something for that person. Oh, I need to go into their sympathy. They're feeling ill, so I need to feel ill with them. What did that's just actually being selfish. If you go into that sympathy with somebody else, you're actually thinking about yourself, not about them. It's about keeping yourself here and that helping people to rise to you. So stop caring so much. And actually means that you love everybody more. You're actually freer to love everybody more. Try it. Say to yourself, I don't care, in your head. Try not to send it out loud to people. It's because it's all about you anyway. It's all about you, but the better you are, the better other people are going to be, the better the planet's going to be. Okay? So, Riches, I know that we're always talking about riches, but in the context of this program refers to giving and receiving of abundance in all areas of your life. Remember, as soon as you give something, you receive it at that moment. Boom, done. Giving and receiving happen at the same time. If you expect something back, so say you smile at somebody and they don't smile back, and you go, you've just lost the gift. You've just lost the gift. When you let somebody out in the road and they don't wave at you, and you go, well, they could have waved. You've just lost the gift. Receiving is such a big thing of giving. At the same time, we've got to be 50-50. We've got to be open to receive. So if we're not getting abundance and we're not feeling abundant, it's because we're not open to receiving. Receiving happens at the time of giving. And sometimes we can be so giving that we use that as a control mechanism to stop the receiving. And believe me, I can talk about this because I've done it. When you give, and you control other people with your giving, you stop the receiving. Sometimes just stop to receive, because actually allowing yourself to receive is giving somebody else a gift. And I had to realize that because, for a year, Wolfgang had paid for everything for me. And I almost hated it, even though I thought that I wanted to be looked after, etc., etc. When I actually got it, I was like, but no, I meant that I was earning as well. I was doing this, I was doing that, I was doing the other. And for a year, I struggled receiving. Struggled, big style, mental, complete block, even though in the outside world, Wolfgang would say, well, you've got no problem in receiving. And I go, no, the guilt that I stopped receiving, and I didn't know how to receive. And the universe was showing me that. You've got to learn to receive, not just give, because receiving is giving and giving is receiving. So start looking for what other people do well, bring it to their attention, let them know that you notice it. Leave the impression of increase with every person you come into contact with. That can be in monetary terms, thanks for your service and giving them a tip. That can be a smile. It can just be being and increase yourself and being in a good place yourself. Sometimes just to say to somebody that when you notice that they're wearing nice clothes, that you would actually say to them, yeah, that's a beautiful jacket. You look really good in that. As you're walking past somebody in the street, because maybe nobody has made them smile for a year, and you've just made them smile and feel good. You don't know. Then they go on and they, instead of going home and shouting at their children, they then say nice things to their children, then their children feel better and they go off and do nice things for somebody else. Do you see the impact that we can have by leaving other people with the impression of increase? And one of the things, even as a coach and a mentor, that I've been so busy fixing people, and we learn this stuff so we can fix them. There's nothing to be fixed. Everybody's perfect. But it's just that if we can leave them, sometimes we can just say something to put the mirror in front of somebody's face, but make sure we always leave them feeling good about who they are. Energy always returns to its source of origination. Give and you shall receive. If you can incorporate this into your thinking, everyday life, everybody's then got a richer life. When you leave some of the impression of increase, that positive energy must flow to and through you first. Isn't that wonderful? You can't give what you don't have, and you've got it. Even on days when you don't feel you've got it, it's you cutting yourself off. Yeah, you. Oh God, I'm really tired. Like, I'm so tired. Today feels already like I've done 24 hours. No, I haven't. But I just, well, I'm going to be doing this video. So, wake up, sort yourself out. And yeah, it's a choice. It's a choice to feel tired. How do you feel with that feeling? I feel tired. Well, how do you feel without that thought? Oh, I actually feel quite lighter. It was me talking myself into it. It was just a story. Oh, I'm making up stories. Actually, on that, because that's what was in my head here, is that, we get these ideas, we get, inspiration from the ether, and then we create stories. Now, your stories are not true. They are stories. So don't attach yourself to the story. If you don't like the story, make up another one. And if you don't like that story, then don't have any stories at all. Okay? So it'll just make your physical world so much better. This physical world is supposed to be easy. Yeah? Just easy. So these stories are what we like, even if our goals, and this is what I did to myself, that my goal was so big, and because I couldn't wait to have it, and it should be mine right now, etc., 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 that I was beating myself up with my own story, with my own goals. Just change your story. It's not that you're not good enough. You're growing. You're growing every single day with this material. And you know that you've learned something, and then it's led you to something else, and then it's led you to something else, and it's led you to something else. And it's like a flower unfolding, isn't it? And when you realize that, you just go, oh my goodness, but why couldn't I have known this up here now? Well, you probably were told it when you were down here, but you didn't get it. It's only when you're up here and all of a sudden you go, oh, like penny drop, and it goes from your head to your heart to your gut and your whole body, and you go, I get it. I get it. But that's the time to write it out as a paradigm. Don't let it go. Those awareness moments are not what changes your life. You need to write it out, write it out, write it out. Those awareness moments are your paradigms that you need to keep writing out. It's your paradigm that says, oh, well, I've got that now, so I don't need to do anything about it. No, that's the time to put all your effort in it to make sure that it stays there. That's what will create the habit of it. So there we go. Right, back to it again. So the compensation for developing the impression of increase in your character is phenomenal. It goes beyond your imagination. So this is just like, we just don't know where it goes. And I've already alluded to that. You don't get rich by doing certain things. You get rich by doing things in a certain way. So it's not about action, 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 action. You need to do the work before the action, and doing things in a certain way. And what is that certain way? Is realizing who you are. The person even behind the story. You are life itself. But if your story gets you all excited and fills you with pure joy, and there isn't any going through, then come from your story. But when you can't come from your story because it's affecting you, then remember that you are pure life. Remember who you are and do things in a certain way. How does nature do things? She doesn't rush, does she? She doesn't push anybody into action. She shares her beauty with the world and goes, well, look at me if you want, or don't. Yeah? Come and smell a flower. Come and smell me if you want, or don't. I'm going to smell beautiful anyway. I'm going to look beautiful anyway. Yeah? The same with dirt on the ground. You know, look at me, hit me. I'm just going to be here. I just am. So doing things in a certain way is coming from the spirit of opulence. Yeah? You're coming from abundance. Come from that spirit behind your story. But hey, if your story excites you, come from your story, but do things in a certain way. That's what we mean by the certain way. And you've got to figure that out. You've got to feel that feeling, because that is complete and utter alignment with who you really are. Then do your action. So it talks about the laws. You know, the first one is like, you know, everything is mind, and everything is one. And it's like, to go into this even deeper is just really understanding that you know, if you took everything from the world and you know, scrunched it all up, I think it's the size of a pea, or is it a tennis ball, something like that, from the actual matter that is in this earth. And so everything is literally mind. Everything, every answer you would ever need is inside you, because you are part of the outside world as well. You are part of Einstein, whatever information he had out there. Because you know what it's like when you want to tune into a radio station. You know, you want classic FM, but you're on rock FM. You didn't have to go out and get classic FM. You didn't have to go out and find, right, let me go and find what classic FM is. You tuned into it, which is what you're doing with your body. You're tuning in to the level of information that you need to be that person that you have decided that you already are. It has been gifted to you. It has already happened. It's already there, which is the law of correspondence, is that, you know, everything has already happened. Everything is one. Everything, world without end, amen. I'm trying to think of the everything that was, ever has, and ever will be, world without end, amen. It's just that, where are you corresponding to, you know, in that? It's all here. It's all done. Stop saying, I want this to happen. Stop, because that is coming from lack. As soon as you are seeking something, it means that you're not aware of it. And it's all around you. Everything you want is all around you. And you've got to believe that there is no time and space. We'll not go into that now. You can research that as you go through this journey, that there is no such thing as time and space, and everything is here now and happening. So we are in this bubble now, but there's another bubble where all your goals and aspirations are in there. It's there, and you've got to believe it. But what is it you're corresponding to? You know, they're all more or less the same. That the laws, they sort of run into each other, just like Bob's program. So the law of vibration is, you know, you're vibrating on a certain wavelength. You know, so if I wanted to get, you know, phone one of you, I need your exact code. I need your exact number. One number out, and I don't get you. Yeah, and if I'm cut off from signal, I can't even talk to you at all. Well, I can't talk to you at all if I even do one number out. Okay, so we'd vibrate, you know, well, you'll know this because sometimes you'll walk into a room and people's energy is, you know, it's really, really great and you feel really great walking. It's like you walk into a shop and you could stay there forever. There's other shops you walk into and you just sort of look around and you want to leave. It's nothing to do with what's hanging on the walls or what's in there. It's the energy that was there. You've walked into a room where it's the where you could say, I can cut the air with a knife because people are so miserable or whatever, or somebody's been talking about something. Yeah, you know, that's a vibration energy. So we can either be down here or we can be up here. Okay, but that leads us into then like the law of polarity, because where there's an up, there's a down. So if you go really high up vibration wise, really high up, and you don't understand this work, you're going to come down. Like, just expect it. You're going to come down until you start to be able to balance yourself out, because you'll rise and understand, oh, wow, I've let myself go too high. And, you know, is there anything wrong with that? I don't know. But as you rise higher and higher, the highs don't feel so high anymore. You certainly don't have the lows like you did. To begin with, you do. So this is the road. It sort of goes along here and you go, woohoo, I've got it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. And that's what drives us crazy. Yeah, and that's why people shrink back with the terror barrier. You know, lesson 7, if you want to look at the terror barrier, if you're feeling of shrinking back, because where there's an up, there's a down, where there's an in, there's an out, where there's a right, there's a left, there's an inside, there's an outside. So just know that it's there. And if you can pay attention to that law and just sort of go, right, well, you know, whenever I win a case, or I get the money I wanted, or whatever it is, you know, you got the relationship you wanted, don't go too high, because then that's as if you didn't expect it and it's not normal to you. You will get what you have asked for when it's the natural next step. Now, if it's a natural next step, so if it's normal to you to have a new client every day, you wouldn't be jumping up and down and going, oh my God, woohoo, exciting. You wouldn't do that, would you? No. How would you be? If that's just normal, you'd go, yeah, that's normal. But you're still doing in gratitude. You never stop being in gratitude. Gratitude's that love. Gratitude's that stillness. So if you're too high, just go into gratitude. Straight away, go into gratitude. And if you're low, go into gratitude. That's the best place to be, best place to live. You know, there's the rhythm as well, because I said polarity, but also when I'm doing this, it's rhythm, isn't it? You know, we've a law of rhythm. Things are flooding in, things are going out. Things are coming in, things are coming out. Stop beating ourselves out whenever we're not getting them. It's just the law of rhythm. Yeah, we have a pulse. We breathe. It's got a rhythm to it. Yeah? Cause and effect. Just know that you are the cause of everything that's happening in your life. But you're also the cause of something else that can happen to somebody else in their life. So leaving people with the impression of increase is, you're literally causing them to feel better, which has an effect on somebody else, which has a cause on something, which has an effect. So there's a whole string of cause and effects. But Oprah says, if you spot it, you got it. And you can argue this point all you want, and you're just arguing for your limitations. The best way to do is, if you spot something in somebody that you don't like, look at yourself. And, if you're trying to get somebody to believe you, they will only believe you as much as you believe yourself. And the world will stop condemning you when you stop condemning yourself. If anybody has said anything negative about you, it's because you've said it to yourself. There's nothing anybody can say to you that you haven't already said to yourself. And I have direct experience of that, where people thought somebody's comments were really bad. And I went, no, I've already said that to myself. So the last one then is the law of gender. And so that is basically, there's a gestation period. And so we don't know how long your gestation period is. That is you. That is 100% you. And it's the quicker that you get this stuff and relax into it and let go into belief, that's when you'll start to see things happening. So I think I've gone on for long enough, really. So there's so much in there that actually just do the lesson, because everything I've said is everything that's going to be in any of these pages. Live a rich and abundant life. You'll bring harmony into your mind. The law says that what you put out comes back. Give your best. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. What you think controls your emotions. It's all up to you. The certain way is the whole way through this program. And so just, if you didn't get it, start the program again. You become what you think about. Be in control of what you think, every single thing. Do not permit people, conditions, or circumstances to control your thinking, because here's the thing, you would then become a victim to the outside world. So nothing should make you ecstatically happy, and nothing should make you terribly sad. You may think, well, but I want to be happy, but that's okay. Well, then you'll be sad at some stage. It's inside you, no matter what. When you can control that, no matter what's happening in the world, and come to gratitude, gratitude is the key thing. Okay, so you've got to wake up every single morning and commit to being the best version of yourself. Every single morning, get up and commit to being whoever that self-image, lesson 6, and your goals. Commit to that every morning and act like it, walk like it. Stella Adler's book, but that commitment is that you're going to feel good, and you're going to help other people feel good as well. So there you go. That's lesson 11. I hope you enjoyed it, and give me some feedback as to, what your thoughts were, what sort of came up in your mind. I expect some feedback, people, and I know you've watched it then, so I'm expecting some feedback in 24 hours. So basically, enjoy your evening, and I will see you properly next week. And I'm going to just stop recording here. So have a good day and evening. See ya.